Now, if you guys think you have to have a lot of money or save up a lot of money to do this, you're wrong. Hey guys, welcome to another management vlog. We are doing some big things right here on the hunting grounds. We are in one of the front food plots on my property. You can tell it's clover. It's not looking real great. We have literally not had rain here for almost 2 months this summer. Food plot after food plot after food plot is looking awful, and it's not because of the seed, it's not because of how we planted it, it's because we've been in a severe drought and we have a big problem, and that's having way too many deer. We have a lot of deer on this 100 acres because we have pulled them in over the years. I plant about 10 acres of it in food plot, and today we are going to fix and hopefully help this problem that we are having. Right now you can see coming in behind me, we got Scott Young. He is out here. He's going to be doing some of the clearing up here on this big food plot. So this food plot's not that big. It's probably around a ½ acre to an acre, and then as you can tell, it kind of loops around back here by that soft-sided redneck, and there's probably another acre over there. So we've got a decent amount here. Down this driveway is the house. And it's kind of got this little dog leg in here. It kind of gives them a little bit of protection from the house, and they feel pretty secure. So what we're doing, we're going to come in here and we're going to knock this back another 30 yards at least on the deepest side, and we're going to go pretty wide on the edges, kind of get to the crest of this hill, trying to utilize just any of the flat ground we can to increase the amount of food plot. And then what we're also doing is by backing this up, we're going to get away from this root line. This root line's coming off these trees, and you can tell it's impacting about 15 to 20 yards out. So the further we can get that root line back, the more food plot we can have that's not going to have as much pressure and be in competition for the water and the nutrients from the roots from the trees. And so we'll get a lot more tonnage out of it. So excited about this. We're really going to be adding quite a bit of area to this food plot. The one thing that we've really just not seen a whole lot of is a lot of bucks up on the south end of the property. Now this year, with all the native habitat improvements that we've done around the front of this property, we've done prescribed burning, we've done a lot of timber stand improvement, we've really created a lot of savannas. There has been a lot of buck sightings already this summer, which is kind of not normal for this side of the property. And I think with having this dog leg tucked in way back here, they're going to feel more secure and coming out a lot earlier in the day, because there's been some pretty good bucks seen in this food plot like after dark. And so if we can get this tucked back in there, you can tell they're going to feel really secure on coming out. They're going to have a lot of food plot to come out and browse in and not be able to see the house or anything there. So we've got a lot of work to do. I'm not for sure how long it's going to take. You can tell there's not a whole lot of big trees in here, but it is going to take some time. We've been in a severe drought. The ground's hard. We're going to knock these trees over. We got a logger that's going to come in, take out some of these trees, and get some kind of money out of them. And then we'll have Scott come in, work the ground over, and then we've got killer food plots. I think the deep woods mix is one of them that I want to use on here, and then I'll try to rescue this clover plot with their clover resurrection mix. So I think it's resurrection clover mix, so we'll throw that in here. It's looking pretty good. I mean, I've sprayed it and all the grasses and stuff are dead in it, but I have not come in and mowed it and made it look good because I don't want any added stress during this drought. So we're gonna get started and see what we can get done today. So what's going on is Scott is knocking over the trees. His dad's coming in with the skid loader and then they're coming out into the food plot and dropping the trees right now. So it's working really well. As dry as it is and as how hard the soil is, we're able to get in there with this dozer right now. There are going to be a few of these trees. He's going to have to get in here with the backhoe and probably dig out the root balls and push them over. But what we're doing right now is getting the smaller trees, creating a nice opening that we can really work with some of these larger trees and try to figure out an area that we're going to be able to pile up this brush so I can get to burning and then I can get to planting before too much longer. So here he is. He's got a re-grip on this root ball here. Nice thing about it is the soil's so dry when they do knock these trees over, there's not a lot of dirt staying on the roots. So that's kind of nice. They're just easy to maneuver with that skid steer loader. I forgot to mention, it's supposed to be like 110 plus degrees today with the heat index. We'll see how long we work because it's going to get super hot. Either we're going to cut out early, or I imagine we're going to take a lot of water breaks. So it's nice this morning though. It's still only like in the 80s with a pretty strong breeze, so it feels pretty good. This tree right here behind me is where I killed my first deer here on the hunting ground. So that's a very special tree. Sadly, we all have to grow, we all have to change, and that tree's got to go. So Tyler's killed deer out of there, Scotty's killed deer out of there, I've killed lots of deer out of there. So that's pretty awesome. It's a pretty special tree, but she's got to go. It's just going to be too much root competition for this food plot. If I leave it right in the middle of everything I'm clearing, it's just going to hurt everything that I'm doing. So she's got to go. It'll be a sad time when she goes. All right, so Scott is now working on the tree that was my first tree to ever kill a deer out of here on the hunting grounds property. So digging around, it's one of the bigger trees that's right here on the field edge. There's some bigger back down in here, but pretty sad to see it go. Like I said, we've killed a lot of deer out of that tree, and it's sad to have it go, but you got to take it out to build bigger and better things. So here we go. All right guys, so here we are, day 2, and the outcome of this food plot is turning out better than I even had planned for it to. You can see here there's a massive pile of brush that we're going to have to be burning here for too long. We got a little bit of firewood going there, and then we've been piling up logs here for the logger to come get, and everything's going really good. So it's about noon, just got done with lunch, I've been running around all day and out here with the guys some, but I'm gonna get out here and work with them for a little bit. We've got Scott and his dad. His dad's been running skid steer all over the place. Scott's digging up big white oak right there, gonna fall it over. This side of the food plot is now done. We've got to get in here with the bulldozer, smooth it down a little bit because where we've dug all this out, it's pretty rough, but we've got to smooth it down. So it's extended it out to the edge of this ridge here. And we've got probably 10 or 15 trees right here in this area that we've got to go in and take out. These will be a lot easier than we've been dealing with because these are a lot smaller trees, some softer trees. And so those should fall over pretty quick. And then we're going to get in here, and about the condition that the soil's in right here is what we're going to look for them to finish it out. I don't want it perfect because I'm going to get in here and probably disc it up a little bit anyway, so it's going to smooth it out even more. But you can tell that's relatively smooth. They've been good about coming in, getting majority of the debris out. That's what his dad's doing with that skid steer there. He's got that grapple in the front, but with that he can kind of come in and put those hooks down in the dirt and just basically filter out all the dirt and just come up with the debris. So that's what he's working on right now. They've done an amazing job here. I'm excited about it. This food plot is turning out better than I expected. So I was hoping for this food plot here that we're going to be doubling the size of it. Now we are actually going to be over doubling the size of this food plot. So it's going to help out drastically. I'll talk a little bit later towards the end of the video exactly how the deer are going to be coming in and transitioning through this food plot, because it's going to be a hot spot. We're now going to be able to hold bucks up here a lot better, be attracting deer a lot better, and that's including bucks at the same time, because this has never really been a great buck area. But with the TSI and stuff that I've done around the edges, it's really been cranking up this last year. We've seen a lot more bucks, a lot more deer in the area coming in, giving them a food source like this. It's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get behind the chainsaw instead of the camera for a little bit, start cutting off some of these stumps and some of these tops so they can start stacking them up, and this should be done today. I'm excited. Hey guys, well, it's about a week later and we are officially done with this food plot. The food plot only took 2 days, but I forgot to shoot the ending of this video, and so I'm out here this morning. I want to show you guys the final results and a little bit of the walkthrough. So like I mentioned, this more than double the size of this food plot, which is great. It's going to produce more tonnage. It brings that root zone back a whole lot further here. We've still got the brush pile, and as you can tell, it is ripe and ready to burn. It is nice and brown. I think we're going to try to burn that within the next few days. Rumor has it we might have a guy that's going to bring a flamethrower over, and if that's the case, then we're going to film that as well. But this food plot turned out really, really good. Off the south side here, this is probably the largest south side facing hill slope that we have on the property, and I've done TSI in that area over the last couple of years and have prescribed burn that. So we've got really great bedding area to the south. To the east, we've done a little bit of select cut logging, and to the north, a little bit of select cut logging. So we've got really good bedding area there. So essentially, on the expansion of this food plot, we have 3 sides that have a great bedding where it's going to be able to hold the deer right next to this and then come right up in. Those bedding areas on these hill slopes, I don't touch them, I don't go in there. It's kind of their sanctuary area, but it allows for really great hunting here. You can climb up one of these white oak trees or sit back there in the redneck soft-sided blind and know that pretty quick after sitting here, when those deer are moving, they're like instantly in the food plot. There's no waiting till the last like 5 minutes of shooting light because they have to come from a half mile away. But let me tell you a few things. Now, if you guys think you have to have a lot of money or save up a lot of money to do this, you're wrong. We only expanded, you know, little over 1/2 acre, 3/4 of an acre. in this area, but I'd saved up for over the last few years so I could just have that cash money on hand to do this project. But also, some of the logs that we're taking off of this is going to offset the cost of this. They should be coming to pick up the logs, I think, in this next week, and we'll see what the prices go for. But that's just money that goes back in my pocket or goes back into putting more money into this property. So that's what I tend to do. Like if I do any select cut logging on the property, if I do any clearing like this and I get money from the logging, that just sets there waiting to go back into the property. That way I don't have to take funds out of my own pocket. So in itself, the land does help pay for a lot of the work that's done here. A lot of you guys probably also noted that, man, there was a lot of dirt being pushed around. Is that any good? Why is there so much dirt there? Well, when you dig up these trees like this, a lot of that dirt comes off the root balls. I like to dig them up like that. That way you don't have the root zone still competing underneath. Even though that tree is gone, the roots are very much still alive and they're still going to be taking in the water and that nutrients. And so I like to take them out. And when you do that, you got a lot of extra dirt that falls off of it, and I like to grade that. But also in areas like this on the edge of this food plot, probably in the 1970s, maybe a little later than that, but probably close to 50 years ago, people had horses on this property and they had cleared these ridge tops. With that, they put a lot of like dirt tailings and stuff from scraping off the top of these ridges all along the side of the wood line. So some of these little tailing piles that were on the edge of these woods were 4 foot deep and 10 to 15 feet wide. So there was a lot of dirt in that, which was nice because we were able to take it and push it down this hill slope and actually kind of take away that grade of the hill slope a little bit, which was nice. And in some of the areas where I had previously cut stumps and that were killed with tordon, and I did not want to have them spend the time to come in and dig up, we were able to put the dirt over it and hide those stumps. So all in all, it worked out great. We're fixing to seed this. We don't have rain in the forecast really yet. Well, we do have it in the forecast, but they're wrong and we haven't been getting any rain. But we're going to plant this with killer food plots mixes. I think we're doing the backwoods mix and might mix a seed here and there with it too, with some clover or something, so that way in the spring comes back in a clover. But this looks phenomenal. I can't tell you how good the guys did here. Hats off to Scott and his dad. They were able to knock this thing out in like 2 days, and it looks way better than I could have ever expected it. And I can tell you the whole property up in this front end of it is going to hunt differently because of it. So already seeing a lot more deer traffic, and that's just because they're investigating the dirt. But look at this. I mean, you can't even see the house anymore. You have this huge dog leg right back here behind me, and I know the deer are going to come up. We got an old logging road here, we got an old logging road here. They're probably going to funnel into this food plot from, if they aren't coming across from where we prescribed burned. But like I said, we've got all this bedding around here, so who knows really where they're just going to pop out at. But for them to come out here in the middle of the day, not too far from my house, is going to happen very frequently, because look at that, you can't see the house, there's no pressure coming from it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to comment down below, make sure to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and I'm going to keep doing updates on this food plot, because as soon as we get rain, it's going to green up. And until next time, have a better than average day. Won't you tickle